cuando estoy a tu lado, dulce bien. Me fascina tu mirar.
Buenas noches, Nueva York. Esta es la capital del mundo y con ustedes, The Johnny Cruz Show.
Bueno, mi gente, bienvenidos al show de Johnny Cruz. Estamos aquí celebrando nuestro 30 aniversario a través de PBS Public Television. Les quiero dar las gracias a todos ustedes por hacernos el número 1 en salsa en televisión. Pero hoy tenemos un momento muy agradable. Tenemos dos personas muy iconas en la música latina y productoras de televisión también. Estamos celebrando el nombramiento de la calle de Eydie Palmieri. Charles, un placer en tenerte aquí.
Bien, bueno estar aquí.
Bienvenido.
Gracias.
Pero te vamos a dejar a ti que nos cuentes de lo que está pasando.
Pues yo voy a hablar un poquito de lo que está pasando, porque la señora que está encargada de esta actividad es Edith, con la familia de la Palmieri Family.
Perfecto.
Como 8 o 9 años atrás yo nombré la calle Charlie Palmieri's Way, en la 112.
¿Eso fuiste tú?
Avenue. Sí.
Ah, mira qué bien.
Y Eric, que era bien amigo mío, le dije, oye, cuando tú te falles, te vamos no, tú no puedes hacer esto, que no nos dan permiso, y lo vamos a hacer.
Y lo lograste.
Se lo vamos a hacer en July 8th, en la 112 entre Park Avenue. So, Eddie va a estar en el east side de Park Avenue y Charlie está en el west side de Park Avenue, en la 112 y Park Avenue.
Excelente. Oye, ¿cómo te sientes tú con este evento?
Oh my God.
¿Estás en una nube?
Yes, it's a blessing.
Porque tu papá es un icono, uno de los máximos en la música latina.
Oh, sí. He is smiling down on us right now. I know he is, because he knew Carlos so well, and he loved stickball and played. And it is just a wonderful thing to be a part of this beautiful celebration. You know, like Carlos said, we were there years ago, and my father was front and center with Carlos and the city council in getting this done for my Uncle Charlie.
It's a nice cause.
And he spoke, and and it was wonderful. We were so pleased, so happy. And here we are now being able to do this for my father. It's bittersweet, but you know, his love and his gregarious nature. I know he's just laughing and smiling at us right now, because he used to say to people he loved, and there's going to be so many people there who adore him, knew him personally, but he had one of these great sayings, and his saying was, you know, you live in my heart and pay no rent. And now we're going to be, you know, honoring him on 112th and Park Avenue, and he don't got to pay no rent.
Por seguro.
But he will be there forever.
Oye, te tengo. ¿Y cómo fue esa experiencia creciendo en la familia Palmieri?
Oh my God! And well, él está, you know, I mean, son of Latin music. I mean, you know, the madman of salsa.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty, you know, crazy, intense. He was such a loving person,
He
and
was.
Even my Uncle Charlie, the two of them, the laughter, the joyful life. Like my father ate life.
Sí.
He just went for it. And I feel like he gave that as a gift to all of us children.
Of course, yes. Eso no lo dejó a nosotros.
Sí. Y mi mamá, she was, you know, the Rock of Gibraltar. And so we had, even though everybody's like, oh, you must have had the craziest, you know, kind of upbringing. Yeah, we did, but
Como cualquier otra familia.
Yeah. And she was it, and so she kept everything. So we just had the house was full of love, and they were together for about 60 years of marriage before we lost my mother in 2014, and then from then on, I was able to. I retired from television. My prior field was in TV, and then I was able to work with my father from then on.
Do you have any kids?
Such a blessing. I have one daughter. Yes, Elena. Elena Duran.
No salieron músicos.
No. Well, you know,
Le gusta la
guitarra, pero
okay.
sí. But I play drums.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Mira eso.
Yes. And, you know, we all have I'm more of a video person and camera and all that. So I went to college for television and stuff like that. I worked with Univision y Telemundo for 35 years in TV.
Long time.
So we all kind of did our thing, and you know, but again, you know, he was very proud to put all 5 children through college, no student loans.
Nice.
He worked so hard for that, and he was a you know, a strict person when it came to la música and what he knew and what he wanted people to understand about la música, and to not, of course, not forget it, but to learn it, the proper way. He
Of
was
course.
always studying, always practicing, always studying.
Bueno, sí, eso se nota.
Sí.
Nos dejó un legado aquí que vivirá con nosotros para siempre.
Sí, sí.
Para siempre.
Siempre.
Bueno, Charlie, cuéntame un poquito de Stickball Museum in Harlem.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story about Eddie Palmieri. About 15 years ago, I went to go play stickball in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And guess who was hanging around? Eddie Palmieri.
Sí.
So he said, man, can I play? And I said, well, you can't play with me because I got the guys from Manhattan. He said, no, I'll play with the Florida team.
Oh,
So he
shoot.
played with the Florida team.
Que era,
and
el opposite
they-
group.
it was some of his old friends.
Okay.
So, no, Eddie can't play with, he doesn't know how to play. Guess what? He gets up to bat and hits the home run.
Oh, yeah.
And for that, the guy said, no, you're going to play for me from now on.
Oh, sí.
And that's a quick story about Eddie Palmieri and stickball.
Yeah.
So prior to that, we talked about stickball, and most of the guys he knew were guys that I played. I was the youngest guy on the stickball team, where most of the guys were like 70, 80, 75, 40 years of age.
Oh, ya,
And they
Eran
were up
unos
there on age.
veteranos, ¿eh?
Eran veteranos. Y entonces I went to play with them, so I became what they call a ringer. Because
What's a
I
ringer?
could run,
Oh,
I could
you
hit.
would cover the whole-
I would
the whole
cover
field.
everything. With the other guys couldn't run that much, I would run for them. So I did that for a while, and I was able to play with the old-timers. Playing with the old-timers, now I'm an old-timer. I'm 75 years of age.
Look terrific.
And
man.
these guys are, most of them have passed on, but it's a great memory. So what I decided to do was to ask them to give me stuff that they did and what they used to play stickball,
Nice.
so I could open up a stickball gallery in El Barrio.
Muy bien.
So I did a stickball gallery. Doing the stickball gallery, I said, stickball is not the only game that we played in New York, but I also know a lot of Latin musicians.
Así es.
So I spoke to Eddie, I spoke to Puente, and they were able to give me memorabilia and
Okay.
photographs.
Perfecto.
So I was able to use that
Uh-huh.
as a forum for them to have kids come over and look at what we have
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
gallery.
that's the whole
and
purpose.
that's what it's all about. It's about these kids learning about what our
History of-
ancestors and the
Sí.
history of music. And because none of you mentioned Eddie Palmieri, you mentioned Charlie, they don't know who they are. But they probably never heard their music,
Right.
but their parents have. And that's what I try to install in my gallery, is to show the kids of who was who. And I have right now about 14 exhibitions.
Excellent.
So I got an exhibition on the Palladium era. I got an exhibition on the Borinqueneers. I have an exhibition on Roberto Clemente. I have an exhibition on Puente Machito.
So, ¿tienes algo de Roberto Clemente?
Sí,
Ah, mira qué
in
bien.
my gallery.
Sí, oh, nice.
So when kids come over, they say, "Who's that?" That was our Willie Mays.
Exacto.
You know, and they go, "Oh, really? Was it that good?" So what they're doing now, they have School Board District Number 4, one of the schools, come in and they asked me if I could bring some kids. They could bring some kids over, and I said, "Sure." Just, can I bring over 500 kids? I went, "No."
Well, that's a lot of
I
kids.
said, I could only hold like maybe 50, 60 kids
at one time.
And then throughout the course of the week, we were able to bring in 200 or 300 kids. So I'm having kids from one of the school districts
That sounds
come
really
in and
interesting.
look at the exhibition, pick a title, pick a star, and write about them. And that's what I'm having them do, so they could have an idea of what we're doing and what the message really is. And it's about learning about musicians who passed on, or some of them that are still around, and let them know that we were the pioneers of the Latin music.
That's right.
Bueno, The Johnny Cruz Show va a estar haciendo un documental en tu proyecto. Cuéntale otra vez el día del proyecto de Eddie Palmieri para que la gente sepa.
Sí.
July 8th, we should start about probably 12:30, 1 o'clock in
Yeah,
the
it's at 1,
afternoon.
Yeah, 12:30.
Through Edith and the Palmieri family, they had asked me if we could have Eddie Palmieri's band perform.
Okay.
And I said, absolutely. They started out with 8 people, 6 people.
13 now.
Yeah,
when I went to
could
13.
imagine, yeah.
So everybody was to participate.
Yeah, there's so many musicians that used to want to really jump on the stage and perform with
Of
Dad.
course.
He had to back them off. So now, but all his, loved musicians, and these guys
Of
are the
course. ¿Quién,
highest caliber.
¿Quién va a decirle no a Eddie
They all
Palmieri?
coming in all over. The singer Herman Olivera and from Orlando, and everyone's coming in. They're going to
Perfect.
perform, and we're just so excited to have the street. Right, the street is going to be closed down. The city's helping us so much. And it's just going to be a great celebration, and again, bringing some youth in. This is what we want to keep reinvigorating the music, and like Carla said, teaching them. There's a lot of music, like what I like to speak about today is just one thing is that people to dive back into the recordings and try to learn from the recordings. My father was big in that. He would give messaging through his recordings. You know, he had El Rumbero del Piano. It was a great album in '98, and he talks about on certain songs, you know, Oiga mi guaguaco, like learn it, and he talks about how, you know, La Plena y Bomba y Merengue, you know, were born from guaguancó. Like, and all these things that he knew because he was like a walking dictionary in terms of the music.
Yes.
You know, he would start concerts sometimes and we'd be like, okay, the concert's going to start. And before he would talk, he would play a little bit, then he'd stop and then he would give like a history lesson. You know, he just really was all about, please don't forget this. So there's some, actually I brought this for you. Yeah, well, I just wanted to just, you know, we have like his selected discography. I'll leave you his bio with you. But, you know, La Perfecta started in '62, the first album. Of course, Azúcar Pa' Ti was, you know, '65, and that was inducted into the United States Library of Congress in 2009. And Azúcar, we got some great stories with him with this, how he talks about when he was, you know, stopped working for a little while, and him and I would hang out, and I'd cook, and then I'm like, play some music, and he'd go and play a record, and I'm like, can we revisit how it was for you when you recorded each album? And we'd pick one, and then he would tell me about the experience. How sometimes, you know, with Azúcar Pa' Ti, he had the A&R guy say, you know, he's like, I played Azúcar on the streets for like 2-3 years in the Bronx. And he's like, well, we're going to lay it down. He goes, yeah, but it's going to be long. He goes, don't worry, Eddie. And, you know, everything had to be 3 minutes, right? 2 minutes.
Because of the radio.
Right? And he's like, no, go for it. He goes, all right, 8 minutes and whatever, 30 seconds. But okay, go for it. And Azúcar became, you know, what it was.
It's an icon
And it changed, And he's, you know, he was a legend who changed the face of the music. He put those 2 trombones in the front, and he gave birth to the sound. And that's why that was in the Library of Congress.
Y el primero en coger 2 Grammys de la historia de la música latina.
Well, he's got 10.
He has been, but the first
but
two.
The first two.
And I have them at the museum.
La Primera was for Son of Latin Music in 1975. And that was so tremendous.
It was amazing.
It was the first time they ever offered the category.
Exacto.
And he
y
was...
después era americano.
Sí.
Exacto.
Very americano.
A través de Harvey Avern.
Oh, well, Harvey came in a little later. With the Coco Records, and then also with the Unfinished Masterpiece one, the second one. And then, of course, people should get into Justicia. That album is crazy.
Awesome.
Harlem River Drive, when he went into the soul, rock, whatever, he used the Aretha Franklin band, and he put down this whole new sound that was like, you know, kind of like in that era where, you know, there was a lot of civil unrest in the city, and speaking about the struggles of El Barrio and the people who are like just trying to live, and the, you know, the economic situation that was happening.
It
so
was
the
hard
lyrics,
times.
it's got some, it's like the Marvin Gaye type of, you know, what's going on. But it's really heavy duty, and I suggest that, and people should of course listen to Sentido, because of course in 1973 he came out with Puerto Rico.
Wow. Another iconic tune.
And I believe that song he wrote when he had heard about when Clemente passed away. What was it, 73?
That's
That's what I think he was thinking, and because he was one of Dad's heroes, and so it was just, you know, all of that. Son of Latin Music, like we talked about, Lukumi Macumba Voodoo. That one, people should get into that and read those.
That's a serious album.
Read those liner notes about how the slaves were brought to 3 different parts of the continent, and the only way they can communicate was through their drum.
Right.
And that's where we get our, you know. So that's really heavy. Read those liner notes. And like Palo Parumba, Palmas was 94, and that was like one of the first into really embracing Latin jazz. Not jazz, Latin, you know, Latin jazz.
Así es.
And then, so that was instrumental. And then the last, there's a couple things, but I wanted to give you, as a parting gift, Wisdom, Sabiduría.
Nice.
Which was, I took the cover photo for that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I have one, I didn't leave you out.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome. And that one is 2017.
Correct.
So yeah, I'll leave that for you.
Chévere, gracias.
And then there's a couple of things, like when Dad passed, you know, I was looking up some stuff like the Smithsonian. Please, people, go on the Smithsonian.gov, you know, look up information. He's got some wonderful interviews that are chronicled, you know, and they're there for people to learn. And also, when the year he passed, right before I was on the road with him, and he performed a live concert at the Library of Congress. They interviewed him October 2024, and that is in there. Not only is La Suka Pati, but now his performance and them interviewing him is all in there, and you can see the interview is wonderful clips and knowledge,
Excelente.
and then of course like cool stuff like Rolling Stone puts out when Dad passed the Eydie Palmieri, the 10 essential songs, So this is the kind of cool stuff that's happening, and then the National Endowment of the Arts. NEA, he was a jazz master. He was awarded that in crazy 2013.
He was a full musician.
And their website, arts.gov, has some cool little clips of the video, of audio, of him talking about, El Mambo at the Palladium, his growing up with the jukebox that his father had and parents had a candy store, soda place, and my grandparents would cook, and he was the jukebox guy.
Sí, claro.
And that's when all the music was coming from Cuba. And that's what started him, and then his family, he started playing, music early, and he started singing at age 5.
Okay, yeah, well.
And then drums, and then with his uncle's band, and then at 11, he started with the piano.
Excelente.
So there's a lot of good stuff I'd love people to learn about.
Bueno, es un placer tenerte aquí conmigo. Charlie, dale la dirección del museo de
Stickball. Está located en el 205 de la 122, en el segundo piso, donde están los edificios que se llaman los Taino Towers.
Bueno, les quiero dar las gracias a los dos. Estamos celebrando 30 aniversario en Public Television.
Oh, my goodness.
Otra cosa que quería
Adelante.
Sí.
On Wednesdays, from July 3rd all the way to the first week of September, we got Latin music in El Barrio on 106th Street between Lexington Avenue and 3rd Avenue inside the schoolyard. It's free. We started out with about 300 seniors. I think we have about 600, and everybody's welcome to attend.
It's a great place.
That's great.
It's right near the museum, the Salsa Museum.
So they can stop by and look at your museum as well.
Oh, yes, and please, with the parlaying on that, with the Palmieri Experience, they're going to be performing this weekend, tomorrow, at the Jersey City Jazz, free, outside, and then they're going to be in Burlington, and they're doing a couple things, Monterey Jazz in September, but November 16th, 17th, they're going to be at Jazz at Lincoln Center, the Palmieri Experience, so his band honoring him and playing his music.
Excelente.
So please go out and support.
Right? Oye, para mí es un placer tenerlos los dos en el show. Te quiero dar las gracias. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so
Charlie,
much.
you're my other brother.
Thank you so much.
Bueno, mi gente, no se mueva nadie, que continuamos con el show de Johnny Cruz.
No valen nada. Muñeca, yo a ti te quiero mucho, y si vuelves tendremos felicidad. Te daré mi cariño y mis besos, y yo te juro que no lo hago más. Y yo te juro que no lo hago más. ser como antes. Yo no la hago más, yo no la hago más, yo no la hago más. El amor y el interés se fueron al campo un día. El amor y el interés se fueron al campo un día. Y más pudo el interés que el amor que le tenía. Ay, mi muñeca, perdóname. Perdón, perdón, te estoy pidiendo. Ay, mi muñeca, perdóname. Te quiero más que a mi vida. Más que a mi vida te quiero yo y yo. Te quiero más que a mi vida. Más que a mi vida te quiero. Pero más quiero a mi vida. Porque sin ella me muero. Ay, mi muñeca, perdóname. Yo no la hago más, yo no la hago más, yo no la hago más. Ay, mi muñeca, perdóname. mujeres a guarachar. Vengan mujeres a guarachar. Vengan mujeres a guarachar. ¿Cómo? A guarachar. A guarachar. A guarachar. A guarachar. A guarachar. A guarachar. Vaya. Ay, mi muñeca, perdóname, 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 perdóname. Oye, muñequita linda, si jugué con tus sentimientos, si jugué con tu corazón, perdóname esta vez, yo no lo hago más. Ay, quiéreme como te quiero, sigue queriéndome así, porque sin ti la vida no es huida, la vida no tiene su esencia, la vida no tiene razón. Te lo diga aquí bien el trombón. Perdóname, mamá, perdóname. Vaya Jimmy Boss. Ajá. Perdóname, yo no la hago más, 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 yo no la hago más. Oye, muñeca linda, mami, vuelve a mí, negrona, te lo digo ahora, me grita perdóname, muñeca perdóname, perdóname, mami.
Bueno, bienvenidos al show de Johnny Cruz, Las Ventanas de Latinoamérica. Recuerden que estamos todos los sábados de 3:30 a 4:30 por el canal 67. Les quiero dar las gracias a todos ustedes. Estamos celebrando nuestro 30 aniversario a través de M&M Public Television, con la mejor salsa en televisión todos los sábados. Tenemos muchas cosas interesantes que vienen por ahí pasando, pero sigan en sintonía con el show de Johnny Cruz. Hola mi gente, les habla su amigo Johnny Cruz, el señor Timbal, presidente del Museo de la Salsa aquí en la ciudad de Nueva York. Y los invito a que visiten aquí el museo en el 1708 de Lexington, hoy en la esquina la 107. Estamos abiertos de gratis al público de miércoles a sábado de 1 a 6 p.m. Mi número de teléfono es el 917-747-8505 o el website spajasalsagallery.com. Gracias mi gente, los esperamos.
Brotaron las frases poco tradicionales en una mujer libre y un hombre soltero. Y esa fue la noche más linda del mundo, aunque nos durara tan solo un segundo. Mas no me arrepiento porque aquel momento lo llevo grabado en mi pensamiento. Y esa fue la noche más linda del mundo, aunque nos durara tan solo un segundo. Que no me...
Thank you. The next composition is called the Persian Scale, and it's quite an interesting composition. We have a composition that is called La Libertad, Liberty. And I was in Venezuela. There I met a writer, a great writer, newspaper man. And I was recording an album called Justicia, which means justice. And I asked him who would be the son of, or the daughter of justice. And he said, La Libertad, lógico. It's logically La Libertad. And I was so impressed with that answer that I wrote a composition called La Libertad. It's an up-tempo, and I certainly hope that you enjoy it, and if you want to dance, do it. I'll play something before that.
Bueno, mi gente, ustedes están en sintonía con el show de Johnny Cruz. Estamos celebrando 30 aniversario aquí a través de Public Television con la mejor salsa, las entrevistas y cultura y arte y un sinfín de cosas más. Le queremos dar las gracias a todos ustedes y recuerde que pasa en Nueva York y conversando con las estrellas, con el Rubio Boris y Johnny Cruz. También no se olviden escuchar Salsa Manía a través de Johnny Cruz Timbala en Facebook para la mejor salsa en la radio. Oye, los embajadores de la salsa, Rubio Boris y Johnny Cruz. No se muevan nadie, que continuamos con el show de Johnny Cruz.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to know that this is a very, very important engagement for me, being in Princeton. Oh. Especially when they threw me out of high school. And I'm not kidding. Anyway, it's my honor to be here. Y para nuestra raza latina, muy buenas noches. Everybody enjoy el 5 de mayo tonight. And tonight you're going to hear Latin jazz. It's very exciting. We have the two different orchestras of Latin jazz, and then the one with a vocalist, it's a larger orchestra. Latin jazz is the fusion, in my opinion, of the 21st century, merely because it unites the most exciting rhythmical patterns coming out of Africa and arriving in the Caribbean, particularly in the island of Cuba and in Puerto Rico. And the cultural exchange between the Spaniard and the African came the mulatto. And the mulatto, with his drum, put the world to dance. That's a known fact to whoever is concerned about our music. In the New World, which is here at that time, the captives that were brought from Africa, because you're not a slave when they take you out of your country, you're a captive. The whip will turn into a slave because that hurts. So they were never allowed the drum here. Fear of revolution and communication. So the lament of their sorrow and working the plantations came the blues. And then after that, from the blues became the classical blues. And that's why the underlying principle of the blues certainly is jazz. And then jazz is the music that's come out of the United States. So when you unite the harmonic structures of jazz with the exciting rhythmical patterns of the Caribbean, that's what you're going to hear tonight.
que ustedes están en sintonía con el show de Johnny Cruz, que está celebrando su 30 aniversario a través de PBS Public Television en los estudios mnf.org. Recuerden que estamos todos los sábados de 3:30 a 4:30 por el canal 67 y en todos los canales de acceso público en la ciudad de Nueva York. Nos vemos en la próxima.